What's going on? Welcome to KO Bets. My name is Bill. We've got UFC Fight Night, Nicolau versus Perez to go over tonight. We had a week off. UFC 300 was kind of nuts. Didn't do that good with the my official bets. We're actually, I think, on a 2-week losing streak. But if you follow me on Twitter, can I just go to my account? I do post my plays every Saturday for free. So we're tracking units. Just check it out tomorrow morning to see my plays. Before we get started, please like the stream, subscribe to my channel. I appreciate the support tremendously. We're at 74 subscribers on YouTube. Once we hit 100, I'm giving away a UFC Strike Moment NFT. Let's just recap UFC 300 really quickly. Pereira versus Hill. Dude, Pereira, what the fuck? That left uppercut, he stepped on Hill's foot. Just like waved off the ref after the low blow. He's like, I'm good. Shuffled forward a couple times and impressive, man. Scary dude. So my Jamal Hill prediction was obviously way wrong. Zhang Weili, yeah, I thought she won pretty dominantly because of the grappling, right? Yeah, she was getting takedowns. I'm sure stand-up wise it wasn't bad. Gaethje versus Holloway. I went with Gaethje here. You know, that spin heel kick to the well, it wasn't a spin heel kick. What was that? Man, it was to Justin's nose at the end of the first round. That was rough. You could tell Justin was screwed after that. Arman Tsarukyan gets the win. I heard the Nevada State Athletic Commission has withheld his earnings so far from UFC 300 because they're reviewing that fan incident where he socked a fan. That was like flipping him off, leaning over the barrier and flipping him off. I don't know. I kind of feel like the NSAC sucks ass at their jobs. Like, pick competent judges. How about you focus on that? And then, you know, you can start policing stuff out of the octagon. Like, if that guy wants to, he can just press charges against Arman. So, I feel like it's whatever. But I don't like the athletic commissions, really. Not when they're the ones who are in charge of the judges, right? Because some of these judges are consistently bad. Like, to the point where it's got to be intentional, you know? And that agencies that govern other agencies but aren't held to the same audit standards, they're going to be prone to corruption. Like, just look at any agency, and that's where the NSAC's at. Bo Nickel looked tremendous, went a full round in the octagon, but looked really good against Cody Brundage. Yuri Prochazka, what an animal. Great win. Aljamain Sterling got that one wrong. Kayla Harrison looked extremely dominant. Diego Lopez, the Phenom, can't wait to see him again. Renato Moicano, beautiful performance, getting the knockout win. Andrade looked great. Bobby Green looked great. Davidson Figueiredo looked great. I mean, overall, just an outstanding fight card. Ridiculously stacked. And now everyone's looking at future events and they're like, this sucks. But, I mean, shoot. If two guys start throwing down at the gas station, I'm watching. You know what I mean? Gabriel. So we got UFC Fight Night. Gabriel. Nicolau against Perez. I don't know how many fights we've got to do, but we better get into it. Gabriel Benitez taking on Mahashate. Gabriel Benitez hasn't looked really impressive as of late. He's definitely up there in age. I don't know what his age is, but we could probably check that out really quickly. "35 years old, and he's coming off of some fairly recent knockout losses to Onama, Quarantillo, and then he's just not beating great competition, you know? So it just isn't looking great lately. I think you like the experience of Benitez in this, but Mahashate is probably the more durable, more dangerous fighter, and that combination is enough to just say Mahashate is probably going to knock out Benitez. If he doesn't knock out Benitez, you know, it could be interesting. But I'm going to go with Mahashate as my pick. I think he gets a knockout. I think he probably gets it fairly early in this fight. Odds makers don't think this is going to go the distance. The Mahashate KO's at plus 110. The round 1 KO's at plus 250. Round 2 at plus 500. Maybe there's a same game parlay opportunity where we're going like, you know, under 2 rounds, Mahashate, like within the first 2 rounds, and the winning method is, yeah, that's not much better than just plus 110. So, I mean, let's look at it real quick. Let's look at Benitez when those knockouts came. Round 1, round 3. Mahashate, 4 knockouts on his record. Round 1, 2-2. Maybe we go 1, but I don't know if I like the juice at plus 250. So I'm going to probably just roll with Mahashate KO at plus 110. I mean, I don't even think I'm really interested in hedging that. Ivana Petrovic taking on Liang Na. This is, I think Ivana's the biggest favorite on this card, and it kind of makes sense because Liang Na is probably 0-3 in the UFC at this point. You know, it's really exciting always. She's going out there, is a maniac in round 1, just hasn't really shown an ability to fight through adversity or do anything once she gets tired after 2 minutes. So yeah, I mean, I like Ivana in this. I like the Ivana finish. I mean, it's probably going to be, she gets her down to the ground, gets top control, and I think gets a grounded pound victory at plus 180. That's what I think happens. Na Liang, she does have submission losses on her record. What's Petrovic inside the distance? Minus 165. I like that way better. I mean, that might be something I actually bet. Way better than minus 520. Next fight of the night, James Lontop taking on Chris Padilla. And, so Lontop's the younger fighter. Both guys are making their debut. Chris Padilla, I think, is a short notice opponent for Lontop. Lontop carries pretty big power. And I think what we're going to see here is Chris is a little more technically sound, but Lontop's athleticism, ability to close the distance is going to be a problem for Padilla. I think Lontop has some submission losses on his record, and Padilla definitely has some knockout losses on his record. I'm going with Lontop, heavy favorite, and the knockout, which is also a hammered line, it looks like. So, you know, maybe I'm sprinkling some sort of contrarian play here, like a decision, but probably going to stay away from this one just because two guys are making their debut at the biggest stage, you know? Marnik Mann taking on Ketlin Souza. What did Mann do in her last fight? Oh yeah, she fought Knudsen, who's really good, to a decision. We got Souza here. Yeah, I think stylistically, if Souza's able to implement some sort of grappling approach here, I think she's gonna fare pretty well against Mann, who just I don't think has the best takedown defense in this fight. So I'm gonna go with Souza, the favorite here. Probably a decision. Odds makers like it to go the distance. They like the Souza decision. Yeah, I think she's just gonna... What's the measurables on these ladies? Yeah, I think she's just gonna use... I think she's bigger. So I think she's just gonna be the more physically imposing fighter in this matchup. But at minus 345... I'm not really into it. Maybe fight to go the distance. Dontel Mays taking on Chow Machado. Dontel Mays, I mean, low output on the feet. Seen him wrestle a couple times. Chow Machado, you gotta like his activity on the feet. He looked great against Parkin in his last fight. I'm not even sure who Dontel fought his last fight. Let's see. Nascimento, who's also a guy who puts out a lot of activity there. Beat Andre, got the KO. So I mean, Dontel's always dangerous and live for that KO. Machado though he's pretty durable. Yeah, no knockouts. Both losses come via decision. So I think I just like Machado to stay safe here. Point strike on the feet with Dontel Mays. Put more activity out there for the judges. And just win probably a unanimous decision. So I'm going to go with Machado. I think if you're on the Dontel Mays side, yeah, you're hoping for that knockout. If he's able to grapple, maybe he turns into the minute winner. Dontel Mays does in this fight, but I'm skeptical. So I'm gonna roll with the favorite, slight favorite. It's basically a pick'em here, in Machado just as the minute winner. I like him. Austin Hubbard taking on Michael Figlak. Figlak hasn't fought in a long time, but he's still young, 27. Last fought in September of 2022, and just his weakness right now is the grappling. Right, he just kind of seems out of his element when he's put on the mat. So this is an interesting fight. Figlak could definitely crack Hubbard. Hubbard's best attributes are probably going to be cardio, pressure, durability, very tough, veteran. So this is going to be a big test for Michael Figlak. And I'm kind of surprised he's the favorite in this fight. Just considering how bad he looked in the grappling department. And Hubbard could find some takedowns in this fight. And then is Figlak going to be the guy that's knocking out Hubbard, who has 0 knockout losses? I don't think so. So I'm going to roll with Austin Hubbard here at plus 150. Ronnie Yahya taking on Victor Henry. Ronnie Yahya, good grappler, but I think this is a tough matchup because Victor Henry, he's got pretty decent wrestling, but I think if maybe outside of like an early submission win for Ronnie Yahya, I just think it's going to be like this fight is going to be heavily scored in the side of Victor Henry. We can check and see. I'm kind of curious the finish stats for both of these guys. 3 KO losses, 1 submission loss. Yeah, got knocked out by Montel Jackson. No problem. Victor Henry. Oh yeah, the groin shot against Basharat. But I really like Henry in this matchup. I'm going to say it goes to a decision. But, yeah, give me Victor Henry. Odds makers, it's basically a pick-em. They like the Victor Henry decision as well. Tim Means taking on Eurosmetic. I really like Eurosmetic when he's going up against guys who aren't going to take him down. And he does have really good, I should say, improving takedown defense. But, yeah, I think all of his fights have ended inside the distance. All 11 of them, wins and losses. Yep. He was an early finisher, and then we saw against Semmelsberger and Omar Morales, the power carried a little bit later. So I'm not really too worried about Tim Means extending this fight. Tim Means isn't as durable as he once was. Might even be coming off of a recent knockout. No. But has 2 knockout losses, and we've seen him get dropped recently in his fights. So I think what ends up happening is Medic knocks out Tim Means. It's just too sharp on the feet and puts away Tim Means. So I'm going to go with the knockout. I really like the finish for Eurosmetic in this fight. He's a minus 305 favorite. Odds makers don't think this is going to go the distance. I agree. They like the Medic KO. I mean, the KO or submission is at plus 150 there. That's probably where I'll be looking to put my money. Jonathan Pierce taking on David Onama. And man, I really like both of these fighters. I think this is a tough matchup for David Onama, who is an extremely dangerous striker, but just hasn't figured out how to stop takedowns yet. And Jonathan Pierce is just a takedown machine. So I think David Onama's best chance of winning is going to be scoring an early knockout. But I think what's more than likely to happen is Onama's going to get tired grappling. Pierce is going to break him down just by hammering the takedown attempts, heavy top control, and he probably gets the finish. So I'm rolling with Jonathan Pierce at minus 148. And I guess I like the knockout for Pierce. I like the finish at plus 200 here. KO or sub. I like that a lot. Austin Ladd taking on Jahanta Denise. Jahanta Denise, I mean, if this is going to be a stand-up fight, it'll be interesting. Austin Lane is tall, lanky. We just saw him get KO'd by, I thought, one of the Hawaiian dudes. Where are we? Oh, Austin Lane. He had the eye poke, and then they rematched. Oh, Tafa. Yeah. Got cracked by Tafa. Is he Hawaiian? Or is he... Oh, he's Australian. Yeah. Give me the new guy to knock out Austin Lane. If Austin Lane is able to take down Denise, good on him. But I like the finish in this fight either way, I think, between Lane and Denise. I don't really like how Lane fights for a heavyweight, you know. He definitely is light on the feet and looking to like win minutes in exchanges with output, and there's just not a lot of, from what I've seen there, and I know he's got a high knockout percentage. He throws that right like a fastball, but I don't know. There just didn't seem to be any respect for what he was throwing out there against Tafa. So give me Denise KO. Let's do round one. What the minus 135? Yeah, we can't. No. We can't touch that. Maybe this is another opportunity just for giggles to take a contrarian play, but yeah, I'm this fight will probably not be. What was the fight to go the distance? It will probably not be in my official bet slate for tomorrow, which I post on Twitter. If you're just tuning in, you can follow me here, and or on X. You can follow me there. Yeah, minus 110. No chance. And I post my official bets. We track units every Saturday morning, and they're current odds. Ariana De Silva. Did she get married? Maybe she did. Taking on Karine Silva. Ariana De Silva, who's Lipsky, really good striker. And then Silva, really good grappler. So, the issue with Ariana De Silva is like her takedown defense is not there, and then once she gets to the mat, she's just not very efficient at getting up to her feet quickly, and so I think Silva is gonna have a lot of success if she grapples early in rounds. If it's a stand-up fight, Ariana De Silva is gonna look really good in those exchanges, but I think this is a fight where Karine has a clear path to victory. So I'm going to roll with Karine Silva. I think it's going to be probably a decision. She is the favorite at minus 162. Odds makers don't like this to go the distance. They like... I mean... Lipsky has been submitted, right? No, not submitted. Just knocked out. Cachoeira grappled with her, probably knocked her out. Shevchenko grappled with her, got the knockout. And Silva's pretty strong. Maybe we get the club and sub at plus 350. I don't know. I'm going to roll with Karine decision. But Karine, money line too. Span taking on Ryan Spann taking on Bogdan Guskov. Yeah, Bogdan fought Uzdemir, then Pauga, and now he's fighting another tough opponent in Ryan Spann. Pauga wasn't tough. Uzdemir's a tough debut. And he's not the most technically sound. He's kind of like the 205 Trevor Peak. I guess maybe a little bit more sound with the boxing for sure, but kind of throws some unorthodox shots out there. Yeah, and I just think this is a big step up in competition and he's not going to have a lot of success. I think it's going to be a finish either way. Guskov, 15-3. I don't think many of his fights have made it the distance. Yeah, only one, and that was 8 years ago. So, yeah, I mean, you gotta like the finish here. I like Ryan Spann to get it done early, just to, I both carry great power, but Spann's also got the grappling, and yeah, I think it's gonna be an early finish for whoever goes down. But give me Ryan Spann to get it done. Odds makers. Yeah, this is ending inside the distance. Odds makers like the Spann KO or submission. That's at -150. Fight lines under. Oh, there it is. Under 1.5's -270. Damn. Round props. Fight to start round 2, -190 for no. I thought they did groupings of rounds. Spann in 1 or 2, -135. I kind of like that, but heavily juiced. Mateus Nicolau taking on Alex Perez. Yeah, we got a couple of vets going at it. I think Nicolau's the better fighter. The only thing that worries me a little bit is the activity. This is a 5-round fight. So it's, if you're not winning rounds, there's time to come back. But, I guess I like Nicolau and his ability to potentially hurt Alex Perez a little bit more. Nicolau is coming off of a KO loss, but he was beating some good guys. David Dvorak, Tim Elliott, Matt Schnell, Manel Cape, but he was fighting them close. And then Alex Perez, he's kind of been getting grappled, so that might be the path to victory, honestly, for Mateus Nicolau. But man, the output does worry me. But I do think Mateus Nicolau's the better fighter. I do think he can crack Alex Perez a couple times in this fight. I kind of like the decision for Mateus Nicolau, but yeah, I'm going to roll with the decision for Nicolau. -185 favorite. Winning method, odds makers like the decision for Nicolau. It's basically, I do think it goes the distance. I do. I think both of these guys are durable enough on the feet. Maybe someone gets caught in a submission, but yeah, we're rolling with Nicolau. Check out Twitter. Oh yeah, I'm getting the lawnmower. Trending. Check out oh my gosh, my Chicago Bears. What a hell of a night last night. you know? Hell of a night. Yes, Indy won. I took Indy. I mean, Bucks, what an underwhelming season. I don't really get why they made that coaching change mid-year. And for all people, like, you brought in Doc Rivers. Not a fan. Middleton dropped 42 points. Dang, yeah. And I heard Giannis isn't really close to coming back. And they still lost. Halliburton, 18 and 16. It's kind of ridiculous. And then I took Dallas. And then I actually took Phoenix. I don't know why. I'm just not a believer in Minnesota. They might get past Phoenix because Phoenix definitely has a lot of weaknesses, but like I just think they should have added another scorer, like ball handler scorer. Because Ant isn't the most efficient. He's very good, and like he's obviously just gonna get better, but he's not always the most efficient. I love Karl Anthony Towns in this matchup against Phoenix. Just his size and length on KD, I think, is good. I mean, it goes both ways, right? Because he's got to guard KD, but offensively, I think they should run a lot through him or continue to, because they have been. And then, yeah, I love the Mavs. I love the Mavs. Check out what's going on in the draft. Yeah, my Bears. Holy cow. How insane, right? We got Caleb and we got Rome Odunze. We don't have a second round pick. I think we have a third though. Yeah, Caleb Williams. Did Jardine get picked yet? The Eagles got Cooper DeJean? Dude. Alright, I'm going to say this. Great draft. So they get Quentin Mitchell from Toledo. And then they get DeJean from Iowa, who was hurt. Had a broken leg this year, but he had he's going to be good, I think. And that was like a huge weakness for the Eagles, was that secondary. That's awesome. Kind of reminds me of what the Packers did when they drafted, the year they drafted Yair. I think they went back-to-back with cornerbacks, and they might have even taken a kid from Iowa who didn't pan out, but Keon Coleman, Florida State. Another Washington wide receiver. Let's see. Packers got a linebacker. I'm a Bears fan, so I kind of am biased towards the little cornerback run there. I'm kind of biased towards the trying to figure out what the central teams are doing here. Yeah, I'm so pumped for the Bears. Bulls, on the other hand, we suck. And then I'm a Cubs fan. And we're kind of middle of the road. 16-9. Won some games recently. 3-game winning streak. Wow. Alright, I'm going to sign off. Thanks for tuning in. Appreciate it. Have a good night.